They told you to never lose hope. Your parents whispered it to calm your fears. Teachers repeated it when the grades didn't come. Society wrapped it around every slogan, every prayer, every promise. Just keep hoping. It's a word tattooed across wrists, scribbled in diaries, whispered into pillows when the world feels too heavy. But what if I told you this beautiful word, this sacred virtue, is the most seductive prison ever built? That hope doesn't liberate you. It chains you softly, sweetly, until you forget you ever had the power to act. Stay with me, even if this stings. Because this truth isn't meant to destroy you. It's meant to wake you up. And if you listen to the end, you might see that hope is the lie that keeps you quiet, keeps you passive, and keeps you from becoming what you could truly be. Picture it. A life lived always on the edge of maybe. Maybe next year you'll find love. Maybe your boss will notice you. Maybe the world will change. And in that waiting, life passes. The days blur. Regret grows like mold in the silence between your dreams and your actions. You don't notice it at first, because hope is soft. It feels warm. It tastes sweet. But inside, it rots your resolve. It is the ultimate sedative. It calms your terror of existence by promising that tomorrow, everything will fix itself. Existential philosophers stared directly into that abyss. Nietzsche, Kierkegaard, Camus, Sartre, they all saw the same pattern. That hope, for most people, isn't an engine. It's an excuse. It keeps you from confronting the truth. Life is indifferent. Meaning isn't waiting for you. You must carve it out, often in defiance of the universe itself. Camus called this the absurd, the clash between your search for meaning and a universe that offers none. And what did he propose? Not blind hope, but revolt. A refusal to surrender your freedom by waiting, choosing to live, to act, to create, despite knowing there's no guarantee it will matter. It's terrifying, but also, paradoxically, the only true freedom. Think back to the moments you clung to hope. The relationship that was already dead, but you stayed, hoping they'd change. The job you hated, but you stayed, hoping your boss would recognize your worth. The apology you never gave, because you hoped time would heal the wound by itself. Hope doesn't demand anything from you. That's why it's seductive. It lets you believe you're doing something when you're really doing nothing. Sartre called this bad faith, lying to ourselves to escape the anguish of freedom. We don't want to see that everything depends on our choices, because choice means responsibility, and responsibility is heavy. So we hide behind hope, like children hiding under a blanket from the monster in the room. But here's the secret the existentialists left us. The monster is real. Life is uncertain. Death is inevitable. Suffering is unavoidable. And hope doesn't change that. It only delays the moment you truly confront it. When you finally abandon hope, not out of cynicism but out of clarity, you discover something sharper, stronger. You discover will. You stop asking, will things get better? And start asking, what will I do if they don't? You stop waiting for rescue and become your own rescuer. Nietzsche famously wrote, "Hope in reality is the worst of evils, because it prolongs the torments of man." He didn't say it lightly. He saw how hope keeps people chained to systems that exploit them. Political systems, religious promises, corporate dreams. Hope turns revolutionaries into quiet dreamers, waiting for justice instead of demanding it. Hope makes you manageable. Think about the systems around you. Why do they sell you hope so aggressively? Politicians running campaigns built on slogans like, "Change is coming." Corporations telling you that buying this product will make your life finally complete. Gurus whispering that happiness is just one mindset shift away. They sell hope because it keeps you passive, waiting, consuming. but never demanding. And yes, giving up hope hurts at first. It's like tearing off a bandage you've worn your whole life. You feel naked. The world feels colder. But after that coldness comes something raw and real. Resolve. The strength to say, I see the world as it is, and I will act anyway. Not because you're guaranteed success, but because not acting is a worse death. Camus spoke of Sisyphus, condemned to push his boulder forever. The gods thought this was the ultimate punishment. But Camus imagined Sisyphus smiling, not because he hoped the boulder would stay at the top, but because he found meaning in the struggle itself. That's life. You push your boulder, knowing it will roll back, yet you keep pushing. Not because you hope, but because you choose. Most people aren't ready for this. They cling to hope as their last defense against despair. But here's the paradox. True despair is liberating. When you despair, when you truly see that no one is coming, you stop waiting. You start doing. And then you discover something deeper than hope, defiance. Ask yourself, when was the last time you did something purely because it mattered to you, even if you knew it might fail? When was the last time you stopped calculating, stopped hoping, and simply acted? Those moments, rare as they are, feel alive. Because in those moments, you're free. Hope is comfortable, but comfort kills growth. Comfort makes you easier to control. When you reject hope, you reject being controlled. You become unpredictable, dangerous, alive. This is why so few people dare to live without hope. It means admitting that if your life stays the same, it's on you. That the love you crave won't come unless you seek it. That the purpose you long for won't appear unless you build it. And yes, sometimes you will fail. Sometimes the world will crush you. But at least you lived by your own hand, not by waiting for mercy that never came. Imagine if humanity truly abandoned hope. Imagine millions of people no longer waiting, no longer dreaming of change, but becoming change. Systems would crumble overnight. Exploiters would lose their power. Because hope keeps the exploited quiet. Now you might think, without hope, isn't life empty? But the existentialists argued the opposite. Without hope, life becomes intensely real. Every sunrise, every friendship, every act of kindness matters more, not because it's part of a grand plan, but because it's fleeting. You cherish what you no longer expect to be saved. And what if we dared to teach our children not to hope, but to act? Not to pray for better, but to create better. Imagine a generation that didn't ask, will someone fix this? But asked, how can I fix this, knowing no one else might? That's how real change happens. Hope keeps your eyes on tomorrow, but life is always happening now, and tomorrow isn't promised. All you truly have is now, and the power to choose. So why hope is a lie? Because it promises what it can't deliver. Because it asks nothing of you except waiting. And because it keeps you from seeing the terrifying, beautiful truth. You are already free to act, to love, to build, to resist. No hope required. If you've listened this far, maybe a part of you already knew this. Maybe you've felt the emptiness of waiting. Maybe you've tasted the raw, bitter clarity of despair and felt strangely alive. If these words disturbed you, let them disturb you deeper. Let them push you to ask, what am I waiting for? And then, stop waiting. Like this video if it challenged you. Subscribe if you want more brutal truths. Share it with someone you know is still waiting for permission to live. And tell me in the comments, what hope are you finally ready to let go? Because once you stop hoping, you start choosing. And in a world built to keep you passive, that choice is the most radical act of all. Hope is the sweetest poison. Choice is the bitter antidote. Drink it and wake up.